स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Namaskar to all of you. Welcome to the study of the life and teachings of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. We were seeing into the reminiscences of Latu Maharaj or Bhutanandaji. We will continue from where we had stopped in the last session. Girish Chandra Ghosh had behaved very rudely with Ramakrishna. He was intoxicated and drunk, and he misbehaved, used all the filthy, abusive words. In spite of that, Sri Ramakrishna went such a long distance with all the devotees to the house of Girish Chandra Ghosh. The whole night Girish Chandra Ghosh was crying, sobbing, and he had been very repentant. He had refused to take food and he was weeping a great deal. Now Latu Maharaj is explaining that all of them, including Ramakrishna and other devotees, we reached Girish Babu's house a little before evening. Hearing that Sri Ramakrishna had come, Girish Babu, that is Girish Chandra Ghosh, approached Ramakrishna with tears in his eyes and fell at his feet. Only when the master said, all right, did he finally get up. A long conversation followed. Now Latu Maharaj is reminiscing. I remember Girish Chandra Ghosh saying, Master, if you had not come today, I would have concluded that you still had not attained that supreme state of knowledge where praise and blame are equal. And moreover, that you could not be called a Paramahamsa, an illumined soul of the highest order. I would have considered you to be an ordinary man like us. But today, I have understood that you are the Supreme One. You will not be able to hide this from me anymore. I shall never desert you. My welfare is now in your hands. Please tell me that you will be responsible for me and that you will save me. So that was a conversation with Ramakrishna, which Latu Maharaj has now given us. Another incident, we all know about Keshava Chandra Sen, who was then the leader of Brahma Samaj. So this Keshava Chandra Sen was very sick, maybe in his last days. So at that time, Ramakrishna visited him in his house. As I told you, any good person, any devotee, any man of good achievement, Ramakrishna would visit them uninvited. So Keshava Chandra Sen was one of them. Now already Keshava Chandra Sen had become a very great ardent devotee of Ramakrishna. So now Latu Maharaj is giving us that incident when Ramakrishna went to Keshava Chandra Sen, the then leader of Brahma Samaj. Latu Maharaj is telling when Keshava Babu was very sick, the master went to see him. Keshava Chandra Sen came down from the upper story when he heard that the master had arrived. After seeing how ill Keshav Chandra Sen was, the master said, "This time I can't understand the will of the mother." Within 3 or 4 months, Keshav Chandra Sen Babu passed away. But earlier, some years back, when Keshav Chandra Sen was sick, so that then the master had promised to offer green coconut and sugar to the goddess Siddheshwari. It's there in Calcutta even now. If you go to Calcutta, you can find the temple Siddheshwari, Divine Mother, another aspect of Divine Mother, Jagrata Devata. So Ramakrishna, just like ordinary people, to show us the way how we can approach God. God is approachable even in this way. So in Hindi it is called Mannat. Rather, Mannat is a Urdu word. I do not know the exact word in Hindi. In some of the South Indian languages it is called Harake. Now, when somebody has some sickness or some difficulty or some desire, so now instead of going into the wrong means of achieving it, or just simply relying on some person or things, the idea of our great rishis was that you approach God for everything. God is like your father and mother. So you approach God so that you will be self-reliant on God for everything. We need not be reliant, dependent upon any person or anything. We are independent beings. So gradually, our scriptures, our rishis and munis would change our habit from dependent upon people and things to slowly to the Ishtadevata. Then from the Ishtadevata to your own Atman, then you become desireless. So that's how our scriptures take us gradually from dependency to independence, total independence. That is mukti, freedom, because you are the source of everything. You have everything within you: infinite security, infinite peace, infinite happiness, everything within you. So nothing to ask from anybody. So you just depend. Atma Rama, Atma Arama. You rest in your own soul. So that is called Atma Rama. You enjoy, you rest, you find peace, you find bliss in your own soul. Nothing outside. You need not go outside at all. So now, how would our rishis and munis, our scriptures, slowly turn us? See, Ramakrishna is following one of it. He himself is an avatara. He could have just willed, let him be cured. But he has not come here to do miracles, but to teach us how to approach God. That's why he himself, like an ordinary person, when Keshav Chandra Sen was sick, suppose in the house the child is sick, the mother will do all these things. The father also sometimes. Generally, this is done by the women. So they will go to God, some temple which is Jagrata Devata, to Ganapati, to Divine Mother, to Vishnu, or something. I will give you that. I will offer you some sugar. I will offer you some milk. Some deities may be liking tender coconut. I will offer tender coconut now. Ramakrishna is doing that mannat, vow. In English, you can call it as vow, the religious vow. So he will approach and tell that I am going to perform this. I will do so many namaskar, sastanga namaskar. I am going to break so many coconut in front of Ganesha. I am going to do this puja. I am going to do this havan. I will do the Chandi Homa. I will offer in your name food to 100 people. So all these things are there. Suppose you are very poor, you can't do much. Then simple things like this. So Ramakrishna himself had told, you can approach me. That is Ramakrishna, the highest avatara, in this way. you can approach me also with this type of mannat or harake or whatever, this vow, religious vow. It so happened later on when Ramakrishna had given up his body in Mahasamadhi. Later on, Girish Chandra Ghosh used to come to Belur Math. It so happened there was one devotee who was a worker. He was a worker in Belur Math and also a devotee. I don't know whether he was a worker, but he might be a devotee, very ordinary devotee, poor devotee, used to come to Belur Math. So he had fallen down while taking bath and dislocated it is one of his arms. It was not a fracture, just a dislocation. He was in pain. When Girish Chandra Ghosh was an old man at that time, when he saw him in pain, he asked, "What has happened?" "I fell down and while taking bath, I slipped and dislocated my arm." Is it? They were in Belur Math at that time. You go to Ramakrishna and make a vow, make a mannat that you are going to give some paise at that time, paisa like cents in English, penny. So some penny worth of or some cent worth of rasagulla. At that time there was this 1 paisa, half paisa, 3 paisa. We have handled all those things. We were using that 1 paisa, 2 paisa at that time. 25 paisa, 50 paisa, 75 paisa. So to 1 paisa you would get so many things. The value of rupee, the value of currency was very high. Nowadays the minimum is 10 rupees, just like that 1 paisa. Below that, people, the beggars also will not take money from you. 10 rupees minimum. So 100 rupee doesn't carry value at all. Now 1000 rupees, 500 rupees. Okay, let us not go to those things. At that time, Girish Chandra Ghosh asked him to bring some paisa, cents worth of rasgulla, and tell to Ramakrishna, if this pain goes away, if this suffering goes away, then I'm going to offer you this some paise worth of rasgulla. Then immediately that person, hearing it from the words of Girish Chandra Ghosh, he had faith in his words. He ran to Ramakrishna in the Belur Math and did this mannat vow. "Oh Lord, it's paining too much my hand. I will offer you this some paise worth of rasgulla. Please remove my pain. Let the dislocation be cured." So the next day, while he was taking bath, again he slipped and fell on the same arm. And that arm which has been dislocated got located. And then he came running to Belur Math and met Girish Chandra Ghosh and told what had happened. Girish told immediately, "Rush to the market, bring some rasgulla from the shop and offer it to Master." He ran and bought rasgulla and offered. So this is called mannat. Wow. So like that, we can do it to Ramakrishna, Mother Sharda Devi, or any gods or goddesses whom you think it is awakened. Ramakrishna himself had told, you can even approach me in this manner too. God, as Lord Krishna is promised in Bhagavad Gita, "Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tataiva bhajamyaham." Whatever way people approach me, I will go towards them and lift them up. Whatever way, wherever, because we are all children of God. The Lord doesn't do any partiality, or the Lord doesn't do any discrimination. Whatever way, Krishna has promised in the Bhagavad Gita, and whatever way you approach me, I will come to that person and help him in that way itself. Not that you have to follow these things. This is the only there any rules and regulation. What rules and regulations to God? What can you? How can you control God? You can control, you can restrict God only by your loving service, by love and devotion. That's all. Bhakti only, nothing else. Otherwise, how can you restrict and control God? Whatever way you approach, God tells, Krishna tells. So here, Ramakrishna is showing us the path. What is that? Earlier time, when Keshav Chandra Sen was sick, the master promised to offer green coconut, that is tender coconut water, and sugar mixed with sugar. In Bengal, that is the in other parts of India, they take sugar, green coconut as it is. In Bengal, they will add sugar. Even sometimes they will add lemon or lime water into it, little lime water, and then take it. It will be very tasty. So suppose the tender coconut is not so sweet, then they will add little sugar. Then if you add lemon or lime water, it will be still tasty. So we have seen in some parts of other parts of India, they do that. Especially in Bengal, they add sugar and give it to God or human beings or something like that. So here, Ramakrishna is promising or making a vow to Divine Mother, another aspect of Kali or Durga, that is Mother Siddheshwari. So he was so much loving Keshav Chandra Sen. He had so much of affection towards Keshav Chandra Sen, just like a mother. The master himself promised to offer green coconut and sugar to goddess Siddheshwari after his recovery. So that is also the condition. You can even put the condition. You can approach God in that way too. As Krishna is promised in Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 types of devotees. All are my devotees. I don't discriminate whether it's the highest or the lowest. Even the lowest, I approach them in whatever way. What is that he has told in Bhagavad Gita? Chaturvida bhajante mam. 4 types of devotee worship me. In that 4 type, there may be many different types too. All, whatever way. Arthi, Artharthi, Jignasu, Gnani, Bharatarshava. O Arjuna, Arthi, Artharthi. So suppose somebody is in difficulty. Somebody is in danger. Something is going to happen. So sankat, jab sankat aata hai, whenever there is some difficulty, you get difficulty, then only some people remember God. Okay, they are also my devotee. They are first group of devotees. One group of devotees, those who remember God, pray to God only during time of difficulty. They are also my devotees. They are also my devotees. Arthi, Artharthi. Artha means wealth. They want something from me. Artha, money, wealth, building, car, vehicles, good wife, good husband, good children, so good position, name and fame, good work, good salary. So all those things are included. So that is called artha, wealth, to get wealth. You approach only then. If you get something from God, you approach. When you are in difficulty, you approach. That is arthi, artharthi, who wants wealth. Jignasu. Some people have gone beyond these things. They love God. They have devotion to God. They want to know God. They want to realize God. So, jignasu, gnatum ichha. They want to know God. Gnatum ichha. They want to have the knowledge of God. They are also my devotees. Then there is another category, that is gnani. They have realized God. They are full of wisdom. They have the gnana, atma gnana. Even then, after having everything, fulfilled everything, there is no need or want for them. In spite of that, they will have devotion to God. They are called gnani. So these are the 4 types. So nothing to worry. Whatever it might be, God doesn't discriminate. Just like Holy Mother used to tell, one dacoit named Amjad, and he was a Muslim. He had great devotion to Mother, Holy Mother Sharda Devi. It used to come. Mother used to feed him, remove the plate where he had eaten, the uchishta. Though he was a Muslim, he was a dacoit, but he had devotion to Mother Sharda Devi. So Mother used to take care of him just like any other devotees. He used to feed him. Mother used to feed him, though he was a dacoit, though he was a Muslim, Amjad. Then at some other place, Mother has retorted, all my children are the same. Whether it is Swami Sharadananda. Swami Sharadananda was one of the direct disciples who had realized the Brahman, highest Gnani. Holy Mother Sharda Devi herself had told, go and search all the 3 worlds. You can't find another person In all the three worlds or in all the universe, a person of the caliber of Shardananda is of the highest order in large heartedness. Then she also makes another comment, he is next only to Swami Vivekananda. So, such is the capacity, and he had so much great devotion to Holy Mother, he used to serve Holy Mother. So, now here Amjad, a dacoit, a Mussalman, devotee of Mother. Here, the highest Gnani was realized everything, direct disciple of Ramakrishna. In his last birth, he was one of the chief disciples of Jesus Christ. And Mother herself is telling you, go search all the three worlds, you can't find another person of the caliber, highest caliber. Is next only to Swami Vivekananda. But she tells, for me, Amjad and Shardananda are the same. I look after them as my children. I don't discriminate. So for me, both Shardananda and Amjad, the highest order of sannyasin, the great Tyagi, the realized soul, and Amjad, though he was a Mussalman, though he was a dacoit, but Mother is telling there is no difference for me. I am the mother of all. I am the mother. I look after them in the same way. So likewise, God also, Holy Mother was none other than God. But you can see all those things. How can you know God? Until unless God comes to us in the human being and shows all these things. So the Lord doesn't discriminate between whether you are a great, rich, or educated, or uneducated, low, high, handicapped, perfectly strong, very intelligent, dullard, nothing. We are all children of God. So the Lord doesn't make any difference. So we can learn from here. You can approach God by the act of Ramakrishna offering that green coconut sugar to Goddess Siddheshwari for the recovery. So after the recovery, I'm going to give that condition also will be there in the manat, not before that. If you don't answer my prayer, then I'm not going to give, as if God wants all those things. Even then, see, God has given this opportunity to approach us even in this way. You can put a condition. If my child, or if my husband or wife, or if your sister, brother, mother, father, anybody recovers, or they have some difficulty, they have to come out of it. If you clear that, if you remove that difficulty, or if you give them something, then I'm going to offer it to you. So on recovery, I'm going to offer this. It's small, very small, just like tender coconut with little sugar. It may be very, very small thing, but your feeling for God, your relationship with God will improve. Gradually doing that, when you get the answer, even if you don't get the answer, when you pray to God in this way, your relationship with Him increases. You will approach, you will become completely dependent upon God for everything. So that is what we have to learn. Okay. Keshav Chandra Babu at that time got well, and the master sent Mother Siddheshwari the promised offerings. That also, so many times we have seen some people will do that, and then they will not offer, they will not give, they will forget it. Then the Divine Mother or that Goddess will remind them through the dreams or through somebody else until they give that offering, whichever they had promised, that Lord will not give you up. So we have seen so many things like that in our life in India. We used to hear all those things, so many wonderful things, whatever that might be. Now let us come to the reminiscences or memory of Latu Maharaj about Sri Ramakrishna and so many other things. So now Latu Maharaj is telling Keshav Chandra Sen's followers invited Master to join them at a garden house in Sinti, the name of a place, Sinti, at the time of their annual festival of Brahma Samaj. So many famous people came there, It was there that I first met Shivanath Shastri. Who is I here? Latu Maharaj. So wherever Ramakrishna used to go, so before that, our Hriday would accompany Ramakrishna. Now Hriday is gone, he's not there. So now, just like a bodyguard or a servant or an attendant, Latu Maharaj is accompanying Ramakrishna wherever he went. So now Latu Maharaj has gone to Keshav Chandra Saints Brahma Samaj annual festival at Sinti. And many famous people, many top ranking people, elite of Calcutta society would come to that place. So Latu Maharaj is telling, it was there I first met another devotee and another person from Brahma Samaj, Shivanath Shastri. So that person, Shivanath Shastri, was also a preacher in Brahma Samaj, an important member. Master had much love towards this person, Shivanath Shastri, who was much loved by the master. The master would say about him, about Shivanath Shastri, Latu Maharaj is telling, when one hemp smoker meets another hemp smoker, he feels happy. See, birds of the same feather flock together. Suppose there is an alcoholic. He finds another alcoholic, he'll be very happy. Chum has come, so he'll go and take the company. Like that, Ramakrishna is giving the example of hemp smoker. When one hemp smoker meets another hemp smoker, they feel very happy in their company. Likewise, Ramakrishna is giving the example here for devotees. So when Ramakrishna used to meet the devotees of God, he would feel very happy. He was not so much interested in meeting worldly people, but he could meet any devotees, Ramakrishna would feel very happy. Any devotee for that sake, of any order, whether it was a Christian or a Muslim or any other thing, a devotee of God, a good person, Ramakrishna would be very happy to meet them. So now he's giving the example of Shivanath Shastri was much loved by Master. Why did Master love him? Because he was a devotee of God. The Master would say about Shivanath Shastri, Latu Maharaj is telling us, when one hemp smoker meets another hemp smoker, he feels very happy. In that way, I am happy. But Shivanath Shastri would avoid Master. One day, he said he would come to Dakshineshwar and he did not keep up his word. Now, the Master was a person of truthfulness. So we think that truthfulness is only telling something, making a fact, whatever we see as it is truthfulness. That is one aspect of truthfulness. So there are so many aspects of truthfulness. Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. Kaya means in your bodily movement, action, you will be truthful. You will do things which are truthful. Vacha, words. So you will tell only the truth. Manasa, in your mind, the thoughts also will be truthful. So I may be truthful, I may tell truthful in front of others when people are there. But in my mind, I may be conniving, I may be not truthful. So you have to make your thought, your deed, your words, everything come together. That is the real aspect of truthfulness. So in the mind, I will be just thinking something else. But in my words, I'll be trying to please the people and I'll be something else. In my deed, I'll be something else. So now, another aspect of truthfulness is, suppose I have given word to somebody, I will do this to you. And if I don't do that, then that is untruthfulness. Even worse than telling a lie. So that is also untruthfulness. Suppose I promise somebody I will do that. And if I don't do that, that is a lie. Then another aspect of truthfulness. Time. Keeping up the time. I will tell that I will do this work on this time. I'll come to you at this time. Then I don't keep it up. Then again, that is also untruthfulness. It's a lie. So different aspects of truthfulness is here. And now this person, Shivanath Shastri, had promised Ramakrishna that he would come to meet him at Dakshineshwar at that time. Now Ramakrishna is commenting, Shivanath Shastri promised me that he would come, but he did not. That is not good. So we, calling ourselves as the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, then if we don't follow all these things, how can we proclaim truthfulness at all these things? We have to learn. These are all different aspects by which we can move forward in spiritual life. So truthfulness at different levels are there. We have to become subtler and subtler, and we'll become divine and divine by following in the mold of Sri Ramakrishna. That's why Ramakrishna has come to show us how to work. Yes, it's very, very difficult. Yathasadhyam itishye. To the best of my abilities, I will try to the best of my abilities. At least we can try gradually. If we keep one step towards the Lord will keep 10 steps towards. Sometimes we have seen in my own life, I've seen the Lord will keep 100 steps, sometimes even 1,000 steps. So that's why do hear from Ramakrishna, the life of Ramakrishna, hear from the direct disciples, then practice it in your life. If you start practicing, you will see the Lord is approaching towards you too. So all this we have to learn. Different aspect of truthfulness. You have never heard about this, isn't it? I too had never heard before coming to Ramakrishna as a child, as a youth. Only after coming to Ramakrishna in my 18, the year 18 or 19. So I started coming to Ramakrishna. Then only I too started after reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the life of Ramakrishna. We were introduced to all these things. Otherwise, we were also like any other ordinary people. But we had the sincere desire to improve. So the Lord gave us an opportunity. So even unsought, unconditionally, the Lord gave us all these things. We are so lucky. What would we have been if we had not come to Ramakrishna? To his karuna, compassion. If we had not got his compassion, where would we have been suffering like any other on the streets or any other place? Yes, you might have got money, position, and other things. What is the use of that? Nothing. One fine day you have to quit from here, go to the animal life or something else. But now because we have come, all of you are so lucky. It's not an ordinary thing to come to this wonderful personality called Ramakrishna. We have done, might have done some lot of punya, meritorious work in our earlier life. Otherwise, no. So now Ramakrishna is telling, Shivanath Shastri had promised me that he would come, but he did not. At least, if you cannot come, if you are really truthful, there is something which makes us some other circumstances by which we cannot come, then you can send a word. You can send your apologies. See, in our managing committee meeting, we have a practice. Suppose you cannot come, then they will send a letter or an email telling that it is called apologies. So that is truthfulness. One of the aspects of truthfulness. I can't come, I have some work. That should not be a practice. Then you don't go there. Simply there also again it is untruthfulness. There is no reason. Try your level best to come attend the meeting. If there is a genuine reason, then you need be absent because you have some genuine reason is there. Otherwise, you have to keep it up. You have to keep up the words. You have to attend the meeting. So that is the work of the Lord. I have seen in India even now the carpenters, the masonry works, they will worship all the implements which they are using for the carpentry or for the masonry work or any other work. They will worship it first and then start the work. Why? That is how it was taught in India. Earlier, we have seen that. Even now, we have seen that people who have faith in God, they will work as worship. So whether it is carpentry, whether it's cooking, whether it is any other job, menial job, that we should never think it is menial. They will do all their work as offering to God. You've seen even now some carpenters have come to Vidyarthi Mandiram to do the carpentry work. They were from Rajasthan. They worshipped that all the implements first and then did the puja. And then they started the work. Even in the dance format, there is one male dance format called Yakshagana, very masculine in nature. Even if you hear the music, you will have goosebumps. Your hairs will stand at Yakshagana, and so many such formats are there of dance are there. So before I have seen before that the whole night they will be performing that Yakshagana, some 2-3 hours, whatever varieties of all the Puranas, everything will be narrated. Bhagavata, life and stories and teachings of different deities will be portrayed in that Yakshagana. So before they start that, they will do the puja. All the actors with their dress, they will come, they will have an image or something of Ganapati, and they will start with the music and everything, singing, praying to the Lord, and then starting the drama. Everything, whatever they do in the house, I've seen, I've gone to some places in Bengal and many other places too. They will have the family like the family of Lord Krishna. They bring vegetable, arrange it in front of Lord Krishna. They will take the permission. It may be Shiva, it may be Durga or whatever. I'm just giving one aspect. They were devotees of Krishna. They will arrange everything, vegetables, groceries, everything in front of Krishna as if everything belongs to God. And then if they have to take for cooking, they will ask the permission of the Lord. God is there with them. That is their belief. And they will take that ration or provision from the cooking and then do the cooking and offer it to the Lord. Then only they will distribute as prasad. I've seen with my own eyes, this is still practiced. So that is India, that is Hinduism. Now, one should not break one's word. Ramakrishna is telling when Shivanath Shastri would not keep up his word, he had promised to come there. So Ramakrishna is telling, Shivanath Shastri promised me that he would come, but he did not do so. That is not good. One should not break one's word. Truthfulness is the tapasya, austerity of Kali Yuga. Just because Satya Harishchandra held on to the truth, got the realization of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva in Kashi, when he went to Kashi to clear the debt of Vishwamitra, because of truthfulness, he lost his kingdom, he lost his wife, he lost his child, everything, but he would never give up truthfulness. That's why he's called his name Harishchandra, but they add that adjective, Satya Harishchandra. Everywhere in India, the Puranas, the stories, the Harikatha, the cinemas, there are so many cinemas, maybe Satya Harishchandra's one cinema I might have seen 50 or 60 or 100 times. Every time we used to show it to the children. Because each time you see that story of Satya Harishchandra, you will be sobbing and crying. And you will get devotion to the Lord Shiva, how Shiva will come in Kashi and help him. Until the last, Shiva will protect him because he's catching hold of the truth. Never give up the truth. The Lord will come to you. That is tapasya. Ramakrishna used to tell in Kali Yuga, truthfulness is the tapasya, austerity. A person who is catching hold of truth will be directly sitting on the lap of the Divine Mother. A man of truth or a woman of truth will be directly sitting on the lap of the Divine Mother who is catching hold of the truth. And many people tell, oh, Satya Harishchandra, because he told truth, he had to undergo so much of difficulties. How many years? Maybe 10 years or 15 years. But what was the result? After that, he got everything, his kingdom and happiness, his wife. Shiva gave back the child, the dead child, the wife, everything, the kingdom. And finally, Vishwamitra had to part with all his tapasya. Whatever tapasya he had done until then, he had promised. He had promised that he will make Harishchandra give up his truthfulness, but he couldn't. What was the result? He had to give all his tapasya to Satya Harishchandra. And then Satya Harishchandra, see, only he might have caught hold of and got into difficulty. because of the truthfulness, some 10 or 15 years, but he ruled happily for 11,000 or 15,000 years or 20,000 years because he got hold of truth. He got all that. God rewarded him. So that portion the people don't tell. They tell, see, Satya Harishchandra got hold of the truth and he got into difficulty. So what is the result? You start telling lie. What an irony. What a bad way of, because he got hold of the truth, the difficulty was only for 10 or 5 years. But what was the result? He was so happily. He was the emperor. Emperor, not an ordinary king. He became the emperor and ruled for 11,000 or 20,000 years. That portion is not at all portrayed. If you tell all these things to the children, children will be inspired. Oh, because of the truthfulness, Satya Harishchandra got 11,000, 20,000 years of ruling as an emperor. Then they will become enthused to tell the truth. We too want to tell the truth. We will get everything from the Lord. So the moment you see Satya Harishchandra movie, because I've told you, we should show it to the children. Every year, maybe every Sunday, we used to put the movie. Then we used to see that select only devotional movies. Then we had to sit with them and see all those movies. So the Satya Harishchandra movie, I might have seen what is that, Ramanjaneya, the Satya Harishchandra. They're all put into the black and white movies. So it's to see each time Satya Harishchandra goes to the Kashi Vishwanatha temple and sings that song, Hey Chandra Chuda Madananta Kashula Pane, and that music is given something goosebumps. Tears will come seeing that Shiva there, and Lord Shiva will come and help. Even now, if I see that, I'll get tears. So all these have to be shown to our children. We have to watch that. Then we will get that zeal to go forward and catch hold of the truth. And Master is telling, Shivanath Shastri had promised that he would come, but he did not come. This is not good. One should not break one's words. So that is, if you break your word, that is untruthfulness. Then Ramakrishna is adding truthfulness is the tapasya. And I've seen so many people, even devotees, they'll be telling blatant lies. They do not know it, they've practiced it. So easily they'll be telling lies. They'll not have that, even the prick, the conscience in the prick in their conscience, they'll be telling so much white lies. So there is a usage in India. They will tell lies in such a way that like it will be a hit on the head of the truth. Satyada talemel hodadange. It's like you are hitting on the head of the truth. They will start telling lies in such a way. So they have been habituated. Everybody, they will tell lies in such a way. So Ramakrishna is telling truthfulness is the tapasya. Austerity, at least we can practice it. Tapasya, austerity in Kali Yuga. In this present iron age, just being truthfulness, you will get everything. God will give his darshan. You will get God realization by truthfulness itself. So Ramakrishna has promised it here. Truthfulness is the tapasya, austerity of the Kali Yuga, the present age. He who does not adhere to truth cannot realize God. Again, we should know what is truthfulness. Somebody had asked the question to me. Ramakrishna had told Brahmananda ji not to tell lie even for a joke. But here Vivekananda is describing the beats and other things, praising Hazara. Is that not lie? When you tell or break the truth for the sake of your selfishness, then that is untruthfulness. Now the mother will be telling the child while feeding the child, the small child, I will bring you the moon. Eat, my dear child. That is unselfishness. And can you tell that as a lie? No. If you use that for selfishness, gaining something, or troubling somebody, hurting somebody, that is a lie. That is bad. But when the mother, to feed the child, just like Mother Sharda Devi herself, Ramakrishna could not take very strong food, so she used to condense the milk. The 6 liter milk, she used to make it 2 liters, condensing it, and then feed Ramakrishna condensed milk so that he will get more strength. Then mother would not tell that, oh, this is all the work of the ladies. We mothers, we do take care of that. Don't worry about how many liters. So was that a lie which mother was practicing, the divine mother? No. The mother of the child will be telling, I will take you to heaven if you take this, if you eat this food. Is that a lie? It is out of love. It is for the welfare of the child. So questions will be asked like that. Okay, that's not this thing. We have that natural tendency of fault finding. So Vivekananda used to praise Hazara. So somebody has asked me that, is that not untruthfulness? No. If you tell the truth and if it is hurting others, then that is also bad. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat satyam apriyam. That's not a license that you should tell lies, but you can keep mum. You need not tell the truth at this time, but you should not lie. Here, it should be pleasing, soothing. That is truthfulness. So go on, I'm a truthful man and I will go on hurting others. No. So we have to know all the aspect of these and then practice. Now, once Sri Ramakrishna, Latumarji is telling, once Ramakrishna, he said to Shivanath Shastri, is it true that you have said that my brain, that is Ramakrishna's brain, is unbalanced? Then Ramakrishna told, he's giving the right aspect now. Day and night, you people think of worldly things. You want only money, you want only favors. You go and you are ready to lick the boots of the Britishers for job and good money and positions. So day and night you think of worldly things and consider your head to be all right. While day and night I think of God and God alone, and you think my head is unbalanced. So in the worldly ways, worldly people who are money minded, they think they are the most practical people. What is there in being spiritual? Money is very important. So those people think that their head is all right. They are balanced. And if people are thinking of God, they are unbalanced. That's why Ramakrishna himself is clearing. Oh, Shivanath Shastri, is it true that you have said that my brain is unbalanced? So then Ramakrishna is explaining, day and night you people think of worldly things. You want only worldly joys, sensual joys, and you will do anything for that. You will start praising people for that and consider your head to be all right. And while day and night I think of God and you think my head is unbalanced. Another time, Latu Maharaj is telling, the master told Mani Malik one day, oh Mani Malik, why do you calculate so much? Too much calculation is not good. Why do you calculate so much? A devotee should spend all that he earns. If you are a devotee, you should spend the money, whatever you earn, for the good of other people, to serve the Lord, to serve the children of God, to serve the poor. So that is the duty of a householder. A devotee, don't do too much of calculation. Spend it, give it to the poor, give it to the needy, give it to the service of the Lord. What will you do? You go on packing money. You think that you will use it. No, some bad children will be born to you who will spend it in a very bad way, or else some thieves from relatives, some thieves will come and steal it. The taxman will come and take it away. Somebody will rob it and you can't carry. It so happened, I don't know, I read it long back in China. Very, very rich man, too much of richness. And he married in his old age because he had lost his earlier his wife. Now he married a young woman. So now he died. All that money came to that young wife. Then that wife married the driver, the young driver who was there. Then all that richness was enjoyed by this driver. He was a poor man who married this wife. In China it happened. Now, whom did this rich man work for? All that hard work he did and saved, the money saved and saved with all the calculation. So much of calculation, not giving it to the poor, not giving it to the service of God, not giving it to the needy, the diseased. He saved and calculated, thinking that he will enjoy it with his wife. But what did all that hard work was put for? It was for the driver. All that hard work, all his calculation, all the untruths he did to business in the business and earned the money, could he enjoy even 1% of it? He died. Then who enjoyed it? His driver enjoyed his wife and the money. What are you doing all these things for? Can you carry it to the grave? There is no pocket there is no cupboard in the grave. To give up everything, nothing will come, not even a single cent will come with you. Then what is the way out? Ramakrishna is telling us, why do you calculate? Mani Malik, another devotee, a rich devotee, Ramakrishna is telling to him, Latu Maharaj is narrating that, Mani Malik, why do you calculate so much? Just saving money, money, money. What for? Nothing can you carry. A devotee should spend all what he earns for the needy, for the poor, for the service of God. When Mani Malik would visit Dakshineshwar, the master would ask him, how did you come here? He was very conjuice. He was very miserly. So now Ramakrishna is deliberately asking him, how did you come here? So in order to save money, though he was very rich, Mani Malik used to walk from his home to Garanhata. From there, he would take a share carriage to Baranagar and would then proceed to Dakshineshwar on foot. On some days, his face would be sunburned. Very, very rich man, lot of money, he would not spend. He would walk in the sun while coming here and there. Why? Because to save money. So some days his face would be sunburned. The master asked him, why did you come here under such hardship? Can't you come all the way by carriage? You have so much of money, spend it. The poor carriage man will be at least benefited, he will get some money. Why do you want to save money and calculate and do like this? Can't you come all the way by carriage? Mani Malik replied, if I ride a one-horse carriage, then what will my children do? My children will think it necessary to ride in one with 2 horses. Also, he started advising Ramakrishna itself, Mani Malik. Also, you have said that a virtuous householder should save money for his children and for charity. Once Mani Malik returned from a pilgrimage and told the master about it. I found that in the holy places, some priests and the religious people, sadhus, constantly ask for money. The master replied to Mani Malik when he complained about people, the priests and the sadhus asking for money. The master replied, you are irritated because sadhus ask you for 1 or 2 paisa, 1 or 2 cents. One should not go on a pilgrimage with this sort of attitude. While on pilgrimage, one should be charitable. The priests, the sadhus, they don't earn money. Sadhus earn no money. So one should give a few pies to them. You people want to enjoy all the good things of this world, and you want the sadhus only to renounce. You expect them to live on air. Can they live on air? You people want to enjoy everything of your life and you can't share one pice, 1 cent. How will they live? Will they live on air? Now, Latu Maharaj is narrating another incident. Once there was a scarcity of water in the village where Rakhal was born, who would become Swami Brahmananda, the Manasaputra of Ramakrishna. So in his village, once there was scarcity of water, maybe due to no rainfall. Once there was scarcity of water in the village where Rakhal was born. So the master asked this Mani Malik, who was a very rich man, very rich, he had a lot of money. So Ramakrishna asked Mani Malik to have a reservoir dug there. You can build a lake or a water body so that in the next rainy season, water will fill up that reservoir, and then poor people or the village people can have that. That is very beneficial to dig reservoirs, to dig, to make the boreholes or the wells or the ponds for the animal, for the poor, for the needy, for the farmers. So all the village people will be benefited. So it's a very meritorious deed. So now Ramakrishna asked this rich man, Mani Malik was very rich, to have a reservoir of water dug there. Mani Malik also donated money for the education of the poor children. One day, Master told Mani Malik, told him, now you are old. Forget this world and making money even in your old age. Why will you spend your time on only earning money? Now we are old. Why can't you meditate on God? Ramakrishna is telling that rich man Mani Malik, now that you are old, forget this world and meditate on God. One should meditate on God in the heart. Thus, your love and devotion towards God will grow. So, Latu Maharaj is telling the son of Mani Malik passed away. When his son passed away, Mani Malik came running to Sri Ramakrishna to unburden his grief. The master listened the sorrow and the wailing of Mani Malik. The master listened to everything. Then how did he give him solace? Then Ramakrishna began to sing a song. When the singing was over, that beautiful voice and the devotional attitude and the meaning of the song, Mani Malik's grief had melted away. We often went with Sri Ramakrishna, that is Latu Maharaj is telling, we often went with Master to another rich man's house, Adar Babu, in Shobha Bazar. Now, he, that is Master, looked upon Adar Babu's house as one of the Calcutta parlors. Sometimes Adar Babu would arrange a festival at his house, and he would feed all the devotees well. Adar Babu's mother was a very great devotee. She would buy costly mangoes in the off season, and she would send that high quality mangoes to Sri Ramakrishna, together with other fruits like banana and sweets. The master took great delight in these things. On one occasion at Adar Babu's house, the master told him, please be sure not to give me a sour mango. So Adar Babu bought him the best mango he could find. The master relished it greatly and said, most likely this one was selected by your mother. One day, Latumaji is telling, we were invited to Adar Babu's house. But Adar Babu had forgotten to invite Ramachandra Datta, another devotee. Now, because he forgot, it was not deliberate. See, in the melee or in the busy schedule, there are chances that you can forget something. But now, Ramachandra Datta was greatly offended. This ego will be there. Prestige. Oh, I have not been invited. All have been invited. I forgot. That's ego problem. Devotees should not have these things. So, Ramachandra Datta was not invited, not deliberately, on purpose, but by mistake. But Ramachandra Datta was greatly offended. Ramachandra Datta came and complained to the master. What wrong have I done to have been left out like this? Why was I not invited? Now the master tried to console Ramachandra Datta and said, look, Ram, Rakal was asked to arrange this, to invite all the people, because now they will decentralize. They will give the responsibilities to different people, because when a festival is arranged, one single person cannot do it. So the devotees will share the responsibilities. And the responsibility of inviting people was given to Rakhal. He's a young boy. He might have done a mistake. He has forgotten. It is not the fault of Adhar Sen. Why are you upset so much? Rakhal, a young boy might have done a mistake. The master tried to console Ramachandra Datta. Look, Ram, Rakhal was asked to arrange this and he simply forgot to invite you. Should you be angry with Rakhal? He's just a boy. Later, Adar Babu himself went to Ramachandra Datta's house and invited him to the gathering. So, why is this being done or mentioned here? Why is Ramakrishna enacting this? Because all of us have this prestige issue. I was not invited. I was not given a place. I was not shown the respect. I was not given the food first. Nobody talked to me. No, you don't go for all these things. You don't come to the ashram for all these things. Your focus should be God and God alone, whether you're invited or uninvited. When it is the work of the God, you're going there for God. Forget about all these prestige issue and ego. You come here to destroy your ego, not to build up your ego. Swami Premananda ji used to tell, when somebody told him, oh, Ramakrishna made you so great, then Premananda ji told, no, Ramakrishna has not made us something, but Ramakrishna made us nothing. Not something, but nothing. That is spiritual life, to reduce our ego, to destroy our ego, to become nothing. That is real spiritual life. We forget the basics of spiritual life and we go on developing ego and going away from spiritual life, expecting that I am respected, I will be called, I will be invited. Even after invitation, people will not come. That's only excuses, that's all. Everywhere we want to show our greatness and ego. So now Ramakrishna is consoling, telling Ramachandra Datta, that's not the way in spiritual life. Now Latumaji is telling, it was also at Adar Babu's house that I first saw Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, a celebrated Bengali writer. You know who is Bankim Chandra Chatterjee? You know the famous, earlier they wanted to make that the national anthem of India, Janaganamana was later made. But before that, Vande Mataram, Sufalam, Sujalam, a famous song. So the author of that song was a devotee of Ramakrishna. And it was under the inspiration of Ramakrishna that he wrote that song. It is now considered as the second anthem, the national song of India, where Mother India is thought of as the divine mother. In other countries, it is fatherland. But in India, the country is seen as mother. She is worshipped as the divine mother. Vande Mataram. Mataram means my mother. One day I'm going to bow down. I'm showing my respect to the country. So that idea was given by Ramakrishna to Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. So now Ramakrishna has gone to Adar Babu's house. Latu Maharaj is telling. It was also at Adar Babu's that I first saw Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, a celebrated Bengali writer. Bankim was extremely intelligent. He tried to test Master himself. So he tried to test Master Ramakrishna. There is God testing the devotees, but here the devotees testing the God. So Bankim was very intelligent. He tried to test Master, but he came away outdone. When he was about to leave, he asked Master to visit him. But later on, since he never sent an invitation, the Master couldn't go to his house later. Many famous Kirtan singers would come to Adar Babu's house. I remember once hearing a song based on the Chandi, that is Durga Saptashati, song composed about Chandi, that is Durga Saptashati, a scripture on the glory of the Divine Mother. So hearing that, Sri Ramakrishna was very much impressed. And also it impressed Latu Maharaj. Adar Babu used to come to Dakshineshwar every day. The devotee would come to Dakshineshwar. He was a top class official in the British government. He had a lot of work to do. He was a rich man. But in spite of that, he used to come to Dakshineshwar every day without fail. Adar Babu used to come to Dakshineshwar every day, even bringing his food with him. Because he is coming there, he wants to spend late hours to the late night with Ramakrishna. So he didn't want to burden Ramakrishna for the food and other things. He used to carry his food also to that place. Often he would fall asleep. So after coming there, the whole day he has to work in the court and other official work. So he comes to Ramakrishna and he's tired because of the work. What will he do after coming to the room of Ramakrishna? Hearing those words and singing of Ramakrishna, he was so tired and he was to go to sleep. He would sleep in the room. So he used to come and sleep sometimes. Often he would fall asleep. Once he had arrived, Adar Babu, some people criticized him for that sleep because he was sleeping in Master's room. So some other people criticized him, what, you are coming here to Master? And here is the great Avatar Purusha, is telling wonderful truths and is giving out so many good things about God. You come here with great difficulty every day, and instead of listening to those great things, you're sleeping. So some people started criticizing Adar Babu because of that. So some people criticized him for this, but do you know what Sri Ramakrishna, how liberal Sri Ramakrishna was? But do you know what Master told them, those people who criticized other saint? Master told, what do you people know? This is, that is Ramakrishna's place. This is Divine Mother's place. It is the abode of peace. Instead of engaging in worldly talk, at least he is sleeping. You people chit chat and do all the rumors, spread all the rumors and talk about worldly things. He's not doing that. At least he's sleeping. Instead of engaging in worldly talks, he's sleeping. That's all right. That's all right. A little peace will come to such people too. That was the liberal nature of Sri Ramakrishna. And see what Ramakrishna is telling. The place where Ramakrishna is, How do you people know? Wherever Ramakrishna is, this is the Divine Mother's place. It is the abode of peace. Instead of engaging in worldly talk, he sleeps. That is also right. That is all right. A little peace still comes to him. Instead of spreading rumors and talking about the worldly things, at least he is sleeping. That is also good. Some good will happen to him. One day, Adar Babu asked Master, Master, what powers do you have? Miraculous powers. What miraculous power do you have? The Master laughed and said to Adar Babu, by the grace of Divine Mother, I lull to sleep those very deputy magistrate who are feared and respected by many others. So Adar was a deputy magistrate. He used to come and sleep in the room of Ramakrishna, isn't it? Every day. He would not sleep every day, but sometimes. But even then, when he asked, what powers do you have? What spiritual power and miraculous power? Ramakrishna is joking. One day, Adar Babu asked Master. So he was a magistrate. He was a deputy magistrate. Master, what powers, spiritual powers or miraculous powers do you have? The Master laughed and said, by the grace of Mother, I lull to sleep those very deputy magistrate who are feared and respected by many others. The Master visited Kali Ghat, the famous Kali temple in southern Calcutta. So now, you know, Kali Ghat is one of the Shakti Pitas. There are 51 or 53 Shakti Pitas. What are these Shakti Pitas? You know, Divine Mother had many incarnations. In her earlier incarnation, before taking birth as Mother Parvati, as the daughter of the king of Parvataraja Kumara. Where is that Parvataraja? Parajya, present Nepal. So that princely family, she was born mother. She was born as the Pandya Rajakumari in Madurai, in Kanchipuram, in Kanyakumari. So she had taken so many avatars like that in Pampa, as Pampa Devi in Pampa Sarovara near Kishkinda. So that like that, Divine Mother has taken so many incarnations. Now, very, very earlier, even before Parvati, she had taken the incarnation birth as the daughter of one of the Manu. One of the Manu means here the Prajapati. When that now new Srishti has happened, then one person will be selected by the Lord to progenate. So from him the whole that Srishti will go on, just like Manu. So we are all the followers of Manu. That's why we're called Manava or man in it, even in human, even in English, that word man comes from this Manu. So like that, Daksha Prajapati. At that time, in that new creation, there will be so many small Srishti Sthiti Pralaya also. So many creations. It's cyclic in Hindu religion. So Daksha Prajapati. So he was born as the daughter. So there were so many daughters to him. Some of them were married to Chandra, wife of Chandra. But she did so much of tapasya to get Lord Shiva. Shiva was always like a mendicant. Now, Daksha didn't like that his daughter loved and married Lord Shiva. He started hating Lord Shiva, even sometimes abusing. So once when Mother had gone there to Daksha's yagna, big yagna was created and Shiva was insulted there. Because the husband was insulted, she couldn't withstand. So Dakshayani, the son of Daksha, she got the name Dakshayani or Sati. She gave up her body because she couldn't withstand the insult to her husband Shiva. So she gave up her body. She was a great Sati. So then Shiva sent Virabhadra, and Virabhadra destroyed all this Daksha Yagna. So you see, even in the mantra of Chandi or when we do the Durga Puja, the mantra is there, Daksha Yagna Vinashanyai Mahaghorayai Yogini Koti Parivratayai, to that Daksha Yagna Vinashinyai. So Virabhadra destroyed all that Daksha Yagna, and his head was cut off because he did the Shiva Ninda. But later on, because he was the Prajapati, when all the other gods requested Shiva, he was given the head of a goat. Get to get that head. That means indicating if you are egoistic, then you lose your head. Because of your ego, you will be destroyed. Shiva will destroy your ego in that format. So don't be egoistic. Don't do Shiva Ninda. So now that body of Sati Dakshayani was carried by Lord Shiva, his wife then. So he went on roaming here and there. Then Vishnu saw if Shiva is going on like this, then Pralaya may happen, the world will get destroyed. What did he do? He left the Sudarshana Chakra. He had the chakra discus. He allowed that Sudarshana Chakra to go and cut the body of Sati Dakshayani into pieces. So when that Sudarshana Chakra cut off the body, it fell at different places in India. At the time it was Akhanda Bharata. So some parts fell even in Pakistan, one or two places in Bangladesh. Now they were all part of India. Because of the Muslim invasion and partition, they divided India at that time. Sri Lanka, all they were one. Burma, Afghanistan, they were all Akhanda Bharata. Thailand, everything was Hindu kingdom. Indonesia, Cambodia. So now it fell in different places, 51 or 53 places. So all that is Shakti Pita. It is worshipped. The Divine Mother's great manifestation is there. So if you come to South India, we have Shakti Pitas in different places. Kanchipuram, where the backbone of the Divine Mother Sati Dakshayani fell. That is Kanchipuram. So if you go to Sri Shaila Channamallikarjuna, at every Jyotirlinga there will be one Shakti Pita. So Brahmaramba is there. So if you come to Maharashtra, presently to the border of Karnataka, there is the Kollur Mahalakshmi. There the third eye of Divine Mother has fallen there. Karavira Kshetra. So I might have visited some 20-30 places. Shakti Pitas. Now what is this in Kali Ghat? How did that Calcutta get the name? So the little finger of Mother has fallen there. So that is Kali Ghat. So because of this Mother Kali Ghat, the name of Calcutta was Kali Ghat. Then the British couldn't pronounce it. They made it as Kolkata. Calcutta. Kali Ghat became Calcutta. Then now they have done it as Kolkata, whatever that might be there. But the name Calcutta came from Kali Ghat. Kali Ghat is the famous temple. It is a Shakti Pita. The Divine Mother Kali temple is there. Ramakrishna used to visit there in Calcutta. Even if you go to Calcutta, you can visit this famous Shakti Pita. So that is Kali Ghat. From that only we get the name Calcutta. So Ramakrishna visited this Kali Ghat, one of the Shakti Pitas. I've also gone there many times. Whenever you chance to go to Calcutta, you can visit this place, Shakti Pita. The master visited Kali Ghat, the famous Kali temple in South Calcutta. Now and then he would go there and would rejoice there with the devotees. Other Babu would provide his carriage for the master on that occasion. Now, once Ramakrishna could foresee, was omniscient, he could know what would happen in the future. So he knew everything about everybody. So master warned Other Babu not to ride on a horseback, because he was a British officer, deputy magistrate. So if you have to pass some examination, horse riding was also just like now. If you want to go to the Western countries, you should have driving license. Without that, you won't get visa. You should know driving. Or if you have to join some work, you should know driving. So likewise, in those days, in the British regime, if you had to pass some examination and get a job, you should know horse riding. Then there was no vehicles, so horse riding was compulsory. So he was the deputy magistrate, so horse riding was there. So now Ramakrishna warned him, Adar Babu, not to ride on the horseback. But he did not listen, he did not obey. Ramakrishna told him, please don't ride on the horseback. But he did not listen, and he was killed by being thrown from the horse. On hearing the news of his death, Master said, one by one, my devotees, my parlors are closing. I see an end coming to my gatherings. Maybe my avatara has to end. Some days, the mind is in a state in which something one sees makes a particularly deep impression. So Latu Maharaj is telling, some days the mind is in a state in which something one sees makes a particularly deep impression in your mind. Now Latu Maharaj is narrating, I saw Master in Samadhi many times, many times. Samadhi used to go to that highest state of spirituality, union of the mind with the Parabrahma Swarupa. I saw Master in Samadhi many times, but there is one time I especially remember, and what is that? He was showing us that day how to yearn for God. Ramakrishna would demonstrate how to cry, how to pray, how to yearn for God, how to do the Vyakulata, how to pray to God. Everything Ramakrishna used to demonstrate. So one day, Latu Maharaj is telling, Ramakrishna was showing us that day how to yearn for God. So while doing that, even showing it, he was showing them, he was demonstrating how to yearn. In that process, he merged into Samadhi because he was yearning for God. That itself made him remember God. Immediately his mind rushed. His mind was so pure that it was waiting for any even smallest opportunity to go and merge in God. So he was showing us, demonstrating us how to yearn for God. Now his mind merged in God and it went to deep Samadhi. So he stayed there in that Samadhi for 15 minutes. And in that Samadhi, particularly that particular day, his whole complexion changed. Latu Maharaj is narrating Ramakrishna's complexion changed. His face radiated fearlessness and compassion. So how can you know that? When you see the eyes of Divine Mother Sharda Devi, just see the face and eyes. It radiates compassion. So on this day, when he went into that Samadhi, stayed in that Samadhi for 15 minutes, that particular scene I cannot forget, that is imprinted in my mind. Latu Maharaj is telling his whole body, Ramakrishna's whole body complexion changed. His face radiated fearlessness and compassion. Do not fear. Abhaya. Do not fear. I am here. I will protect you. And it radiated compassion. It is impossible, Latu Maharaj is telling, it is impossible for me to describe that sight. And even now, I cannot forget it. So, with this high note, we shall keep that beautiful face of Master in Samadhi, radiating compassion and fearlessness in our mind, and meditate on until we meet for the next class. Always, and then enjoy the company, the satsanga of Sri Ramakrishna. So we will end our conversation now. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Any questions, any doubts? There are no questions on the YouTube live chat. Okay. So if there are no questions or doubts, then I can conclude with the prayer. Now there is one question on the live chat. What is that? Pranam Swamiji. Is the form of mother at Kalighat in the shape of the finger? No. It's just an image, the bust of Mother Kali's face with a very big tongue lolling out. They cover the whole tongue, the big eyes and the tongue with the gold. Now, if somebody can type the image of Mother Kali in Kali Ghat, you can see it now itself. Can somebody type it on the Google and show that picture here? Our Sridhar or Naresh can type Kali Ghat, Kali image, then you can see it now. A very big face with eyes, three eyes, they cover it with gold, then the tongue, a very big tongue lolling out like this, all full covered with gold. So that picture is there. Is anybody trying to bring out that picture of Mother Kali, of Kali Ghat? Type Kali Kali dash Ghat, Ghat, Kali Ghat, image of Mother Kali, then you can get it on the Google and then you can show it here. See, it's there. You can see it here, this Mother Kali. Yeah. This is Mother Kali in Kali Ghat. The three eyes and the big tongue. You can see. I've gone there many times. I've touched the image also. Underneath the feet is Shiva lying down. As usual, the Kali. Shiva, that image cannot be seen. Shiva is lying down, and on that, Mother Kali is standing. It is interconvertibility of matter, Akasha, and power, showing that Shiva standing on the feet. They are one, to show Shiva and Shakti are one and the same. Okay, you saw that. The only parts, different parts of the Divine Mother falling in different places. There are these temples, that's all. Now, if backbone has fallen in Kanchipuram, it will be in the backbone. No, there is a Divine Mother picture. There's the Shankaracharya has done the, what you call, Sri Chakra there too. I've gone to that temple, Kanchipuram, by Mother's grace. I was taken even to the Sanctorum inside. So Karavira Kshetra, where the third eye of the Divine Mother has fallen, there is also a small image of the Divine Mother. I was also taken when I went there into the sanctum. Not only that, I could touch the image also there. So whatever, these are all the grace of Divine Mother. So any other questions? Yeah, no more questions, I think.
Pranam Maharaj.
Yes, Madhusudan, please tell.
Yeah, Maharaj, this is a worldly question. So
Yeah,
you said uninvited. You are even though you are not invited, if you go, then it's something you said. It's ego. I think that stops
no,
us
that
going
is
to a
for the
place
worldly.
uninvited.
I can understand. If it is a worldly program, you need not go. But for
Yes.
God's, when it is, suppose there is a big festival in the temple, for the sake of God, you can go. Give up your, you see, you are sacrificing your ego for the sake of God. Then the Lord will
Yes.
give you a lot of benefits out of it. He will be very pleased. Oh, my child has come even uninvited for my program. He has given up his ego and prestige for my program. He will be very pleased. If it is for God's only, you can go uninvited for satsang, for God's
Yes.
program and anything. But if it is worldly program, you need not go.
Yes. So that's what my question was, Maharaj. If
Yeah,
because
worldly,
it was a clash between ego and self-respect.
yeah. No, worldly thing you need not go. But for the gods, I'm telling. So here only for the festival of God or satsang, such.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you.
Maharaj, just to understand, What is this significance or reasoning for the imagery of Mother Kali having Lord Shiva, and that image of him being under her feet?
I told you just now that Shiva and Shakti are one and the same, they are not separate. Shiva is always meditating and he was in Parabrahman. So Shiva is the original matter, Akasha, and Shakti is the power. So, just like the heat, the fire, and the burning power, Divine Mother is the burning power, Shiva is the fire. So, God is inactive. God, Shiva, or Parabrahma Swarupa is formless and attributeless. But his power, the Divine Mother, is doing all these Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, the creation, the dissolution, and everything. So, now with the power of Shiva. So, they are not separate. They are one and the same. But when Shiva is inactive, no, when Divine Mother becomes inactive, it is Lord Shiva. When Shiva becomes active and does all the Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, and everything, dissolution, the creation, the maintenance, she is called power, the Kali or Divine Mother. So they are not separate. So Shiva standing, Shiva lying down as a corpse is to show that he is inactive. As the Parabrahma Swarupa, as God, pure consciousness, your true nature is inactive. But when the same power, the power of that, just like the fire and the burning power, or the whiteness of the milk and the milk, so the Divine Mother does everything. It's the power. When in the potential form, it is Shiva. When it is kinetic, it is Mother Kali. So to show that it is an indication, so Shiva is lying down as a corpse and Mother Kali is on the standing on the body of Shiva, showing that they are one and the same. I, that is Kali, will become Shiva when I am inactive. So that Shiva will become active, then it is Kali. That's all. They are one and the same. That is the indication. Any other questions?
Swamiji.
Om Kolan Chatterjee, please tell.
Swamiji, the word Akasha comes quite regularly in our satsanga, and one of the things that came to my mind was that the periodic table starts with the hydrogen atom at atomic number 1. Just like how we in the numeric system, we never had the 0, and the Hindus brought in the 0, okay, to make life so much easier. Now, in the periodic system, periodic table, if we had the original matter define Akasha as the original matter, because it has, I am presuming at this moment in time, that this Akasha has 0 atomic value, but it is the, as you say, is the original matter. That means every element within the atomic table, the periodic table, is derived out of this original matter. Am I correct in assuming that all matter then eventually evolves out of this original matter?
Yeah, that's true. Because you divide everything. See, Mendeleev's periodic table is only showing the element. They are all gross element. So that is Mendeleev's periodic table. But if you take any matter for that sake, any matter on this world, you go on dividing. It goes to the molecules. Then from the molecules you divide, it goes to the atoms. Then the subatomic particles. Now the presently the scientists have come to the thing called quarks, QUARKS, quarks. So further they may go on dividing and redividing. I don't know where they will go. But our people, rishis and munis, they have made their mind as the laboratory, the instrument, and they went on finding out everything, truth in their meditation. So here, as you go on deepening, whatever we see is now in the Taittiriya Upanishad it tells, from the Parabrahma, God, this first original matter, Akasha, evolved. Akashad Vayuhu, Vayoragnihi, Agnerapah, Apah Prithvi, Prithivyam Oshadayaha. So, like that, Taittiriya Upanishad tell how from Parabrahma, the Akasha, the original matter, got evolved, and then from different combination of Akasha with power, energy. There is another two things, original matter and original power. Energy is different and matter is different. So they at the Akasha at different level of vibration of energy, it forms the next substance, that is they are called Akasha, Vayu, Agni, all those things are five elements. So from Akasha, different level of vibration of the power, Vayu comes. Then Akasha, Vayu at different level of vibration and percentage is Agni, fire. Then Akasha, Vayu, Agni at different level of vibration and percentage, then that becomes Jala, water. Apaha, Apah Prithvi, then the earth. So from this earth comes the Oshadayaha, all the plants and all the other things. So this is how it is divided. But in Vedanta, there is further thing called quintuplication. So this what we see, the Akasha, Vayu, five elements are gross elements. There are subtle, still subtle elements, that five elements. And the most subtlest thing is Akasha, that is the original matter. Likewise, the power energies on this earth also is divided and redivided, and it goes to the original power, and that is called the prana, where we call this pranayama and other things, that prana, original power. So these two substances at different levels of combination, they make the creation. Even if you take atom, even if you take molecules, now if you go on combining, why is that? They're all from the same atoms or the subatomic particles or the molecules, but they are different. The plastic is different, the water is different. What makes the different? The difference, though from the original matter, the difference is made by the power, energy. So the combination of this Akasha and this power is the cause of all this creation and varieties. So now, what is this power? That has been shown to us by the Einstein theory. So Einstein was also given that by Tesla. There was one scientist called Tesla who was associated with Swami Vivekananda before that. And Swami Vivekananda gave from the Upanishads, from the Vedas, that idea of interconvertibility of matter into energy. And Tesla got it and experimented, but he couldn't get the result. That was passed on to Einstein. Einstein himself proclaims this idea was given by one Kananda. He couldn't pronounce Vivekananda. Some Kananda, he tells that. Vivekananda was in the Europe and America at that time. So this is from our text. It is already there. Our rishis, munis, and they all knew about this interconvertibility. So when in the kinetic form, the Akasha is in the potential form. So when it is converted into energy, kinetic, that is power. So you can see that interconvertibility of matter into energy in Shiva and Kali. Shiva is the original matter at different level. Sadashiva in his earlier level is just pure consciousness. But Shiva at a lower manifestation is the Akasha. Then that manifestation from that Akasha, when it becomes with its potential, which is becomes kinetic, that is prana. So they are interconvertible. That's all. If you can read Swami Vivekananda's introduction to Raja Yoga, Swami Vivekananda has given a detailed explanation of all these things in the introduction to Raja Yoga. You can read it.
No, thank you so much, Swamiji. These are very complex, very complex subjects. So I'll have to digest it. Swamiji.
Even Mendeleev's table was copied from some of our scriptures, periodic table. So many things, Pythagoras theorem, gravity, everything is there already in our scriptures.
Yes, Swamiji. It's the glory of our religion, Swamiji. We don't appreciate it. Thank you, Swamiji.
Any other questions? There is one question on the live chat. Videshini Singh. Does a soul have a gender? If not, why is there discrimination that can be practiced against those who choose to be different gender than they are born with? See, the discrimination is in the human mind, because as you go away from God, it is variety. As you go towards God, it is unity. So variety is the nature of this world or this universe. So if you remove that variety, then if it is unity, as you go towards unity, that is God. So if you are in this world, there will be discrimination, there will be all these dualities will exist. As soul, as Atman, or as God, there is unity, there is no gender at all. And see, suppose we are human beings, man or woman. What is Purusha? Now they call man as Purusha. What is Purusha? What is the meaning of Purusha in Sanskrit? Pure Sheti iti Purushaha. That person who lives in this city, the town or the city called human body is called Purusha. Then is women not called as Purusha? Yeah, it is the same Purusha Atman who is present in the women or man or even transgender or anybody for that sake. It is the same Atman or Purusha present in everybody. Why is the man called man? Because his leaning is a little more towards Purusha. He is called Purusha. Why is another person called a woman? Because her leaning is more towards Prakriti, nature. If your leaning is towards Atman, you become Purusha, the Lord himself. So as you go away from the Purusha or Atman, discrimination will be there. It is variety. So it is in the human mind. It's in the human ego. So all the discrimination happens, not at the level of the Atman. So as you go towards God, then all this discrimination will end. As you come towards this world, you want to enjoy this world, stay in this world, discrimination will be there. That is the human mind, human nature. It is in the genes. You cannot stop it. You cannot change that also. But I can change my mind. I can change myself. So I can give up all that discrimination, go towards the soul. That's all. Okay. Any other questions or doubts? Okay, we'll end the session with the prayer. Om Priyatam Pundarikakshaha Sarvayagneshwaro Harihi Tasmin Tushte Jagat Tushtam Pridite Priditam Jagat Harihi Om Tatsat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you. Namaste. Om Namo Narayanaya.